Welcome to today's lesson. Today's lesson, we're going to talk about conception. Welcome to the CommonSenseMinistry. I'm Minister Horace Dobson, and someone gave me an idea the other day about presenting a fun fact about myself. So, a fun fact. When I was living out in California between 2003 or so, 2004, I met Sharon Stone at the Sofitel Hotel. Well, this is a hotel which is right across the street from the Beverly Center, which is a shopping mall right on La Cienega Boulevard out in Los Angeles, or Beverly Hills, I should say. Now, to our lesson, I'm sure you have questions about that. But anyway, to our lessons, as you all know, I am a registered nurse, and I had taken, all nurses have to take prerequisites, which is science classes such as biology, microbiology, inorganic chemistry, organic chemistry, and human anatomy and physiology. So today we will be talking about Jesus conception and its implications with us knowing science and how things work today. If you didn't know, after intercourse between a man and a woman, when the man's seed is propelled or projected into the woman, trying to keep it as PG as possible, once the sperm or the male seed reaches the woman's egg, the tightly packed male genetic material spreads out. Then a new membrane forms around the genetic material, creating the male pronucleus inside. Now, the genetic material, it reforms into 23 chromosomes. The female genetic material, after the male's releases the 23 chromosome, it awakens the woman's egg, and the woman's egg produces 23 chromosomes. That's very important. So we got 23 and 23. So now we have 23 chromosomes from the male, 23 from the female. Then what they do is they start to combine. Now this is the part that's very serious and leads to a lot of implications. The male and the female chromosomes 23 and 23 combine, and now together we have 46 chromosomes, 23 from the mother, 23 from the father. I know I keep saying that a lot, but that's very important. When they do combine, this completes the fertilization process. And at this moment in time, a unique genetic code arises instantly, which determines the child gender, hair color, eye color, height, and hundreds of other characteristics. Now, this new single cell is called zygote. Now, this is the beginning of a unique human being. This human being combination the world has never seen before, nor will it ever see ever again. It's like what they say about a snowflake. You'll never find two snowflakes that are alike. And today, we are talking about Jesus starting as a single cell zygote, or a single cell composed of half of his DNA coming from his mother and the other half coming from his father, God. Now, I know many people have probably never even thought about this. Now, I know what I just said, this sounds like the Greek god Zeus and the human mother, Alcmene. They called him Hercules. But before, hold on. Now that we have the science out of the way, we know how a mother and father's DNA combine to produce a child. Now, this might create some cognitive dissonance, knowing the basic biological fact. This biological fact that I just shared with you, the early writers of the New Testament of the Bible had no clue about. They had no idea. Now, when we look at the lineage of Jesus, now we're getting into the theology. When we look at the lineage of Jesus' humanity, Jesus was man-God, sort of like a Hercules, which was the product of a godfather and a human mother, as I said earlier. There is no other way around it. Mary gave half of her DNA material to Jesus. Therefore, we can use her lineage that dates back to King David, which says that the Messiah would come from the lineage of David. But unfortunately, kingship / messiahship is only passed down from the Father. And God did not qualify to be the product of the lineage of King David. Obviously, God came before King David. Now, although Joseph was perhaps a descendant of King David, I say perhaps because when we go through the lineage of Matthew, it's a little strange in there, but we'll get there. There's no evidence that Joseph ever adopted Jesus. And even if he had adopted Jesus, an adopted child cannot become king or the Messiah according to the scriptures or the Old Testament Jewish scriptures, the Old Testament. Another point is about the sin nature. The sin nature is passed down from the mother and the father. So Jesus could not have been a perfect human being because he would have still had the genetic predisposition from his mother Mary, which gave Jesus half of his DNA, which is still flesh. So she gave him half of his fleshly nature. And the last time I checked, which is not a problem. It's not a problem for the Messiah spoken of in the Old Testament, because in Jewish literature, get this now, the Messiah, we're about to go heavy. The Messiah will not be perfect. And actually, in the coming age, he will have a family and he will make sacrifices for his sins and for the sins of the people. This is the coming millennium when sacrifices will be reinstituted. Now, I know this information might come as a surprise or a shock or heretical to you, because of what we have been told our whole life. We just assume, we look at all the gospel passages and we just run them all together. Now, the Jewish community, they've known this information for a few thousand years and maintain that understanding even to this day. You can check out one of the links that I placed below with Rabbi Tovia, one of the Jewish community's most prolific Jewish apologists. I've watched him probably hundreds of hours of his debates with Christian apologists. So as we continue to study as the Bible, as God says in Isaiah 118, come and let us reason together. So we need to use our brains. We need to read. This stuff needs to make sense. Okay? So more food for thought. The Jewish community is waiting for the coming of the Messiah. And the Christian community is waiting for the second coming of the Messiah. Think about this. Whether you're waiting for the first or the second, you're still waiting for the same results stated in Isaiah 11, where the wolf will lay down with the lamb. There'll be world peace. There will be no more wars. All countries will crush their weapons into plowshares. That is when the Messiah comes. When he comes, those are things we'll see. As Christians, when Christians think, they say he will accomplish this when he comes back. When the Jewish people, in their thinking, they say, well, when he ever comes, this is what will happen. So at the end of the day, they both converge in the middle of the road. They both will have the same result at the end of the times. So I look forward to your comments below. I'm sure there will be some pretty interesting comments as we end this little talk. So I will talk to you later, and I look forward to going through this again the next time. Have a good day.